What's good, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into another edition of the Fitz Take Podcast, a live edition of the Fitz Take Podcast. I'm your guy, Jamarcus Fitzpatrick, but you can always call me Fitz. He's your man, Elijah Nixon, E-Money, E, whatever you want to call him, man. We appreciate all of y'all so much for what you have done for us, getting us to 126 subscribers over on YouTube. If you're watching us on Facebook right now, I'm going to drop it down in the chat in just a second. But go ahead and give us a sub too as well. Hit the bell and go ahead and show us some love there. If you're on YouTube and you're watching, hit the bell down below if you're not a subscriber. Elijah, man, it was a busy weekend for us, and now we're rolling over into another busy week as well. Yeah, man, we're excited about this one. How about you?
I am, man. When is it not busy? It's football season, bro. Every week is something different. But that's the sport that we love. There's always something new, something to talk about. And, of course, we got some good things, especially around the Louisiana area, that we can just grasp on and talk about for not just this week, but upcoming weeks as well they play, as if they play as well as they are.
Absolutely. So with that, we're going to hop right into things. We have a special guest joining us here on the Fitz Take Podcast. If you're in Lafayette and you're a Ragin Cajuns fan, you know exactly who this brother is. Louisiana tight end Terrance Carter joins the show. T, what's up with you, man? How you living?
Nah, I'm good, man. Just glad to be here.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Right now, you guys, man, are sitting at a really good position right now. 5-1 on the season. You're coming off of a win against App State. What do you feel like has really been the key factor in you guys just being able to click as well as y'all have at this point?
Honestly, just staying confident as a team, we know, like, whether things go right or wrong, like, we just got to keep our heads high, go out there, perform to our best like we know we should.
And I like you said that, performing to your best, Carter. Do you feel like you guys played your best ball yet? I know you beat Wake Forest. That was a big win coming around, and you guys win last week as well. I mean, did you guys feel like you played a complete 4 quarters of football yet?
In my opinion, I really don't believe so, honestly. Like, we still got little screws we got to, tighten up. But, like, we still clicking as a team, Like, last game, I don't think that was even close to our best game, Like, just too many field goal offense, perspective-wise, We got to get in that box more than what we did.
You mentioned about the offense and just how prolific you guys have been, how explosive you guys have been scoring points and everything like that. Like, to the outside world, it's like, oh, man, this team is, fully coming into themselves right now. They're catching their strides. But when we talk to a lot of you guys in the preseason, like, y'all believe that you would be at this point. So, like, as somebody that's in the building, that's at practice every single day, like, is this a surprise that you guys are playing as well as y'all are on the offensive side of the ball?
I mean, not really. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, we be at practice every day just competing. You know what I mean? Like, we do good on good really more than we do scouts, for real, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, offensively, like, we be in there, and, like, as we play, like, as we practicing, we just know, like, certain things we got to do. Like, we just got to make that perfect. And, like, we know, like, everybody going to get the ball, you know what I'm saying? But even if you ain't got the ball, you got to do something that's going to, you know what I'm saying, get others open.
And then getting others open. I mean, anybody can have a big day in his offense, dude. I mean, last week you can score. You see Lance, he can get in the end zone. Harvey could get in the end zone. And then we also can see Landon get in the end zone as well. But what does that say, about this team that, there's nobody that's selfish, that's calling for the ball every play, and then everybody can make the play when their name is called?
It's really just staying ready, you know what I mean? Like, we know somebody going to have a good game. Like, we never know who it is, but, like, somebody going to pop off, and you still going to have the mothers in there playing their game. But, like, in my opinion, I feel like we just be feeding the hot hand for real.
Speaking of a hot hand, man, I mean, you had a very big play there against App State. I think it was a 70-plus yard touchdown that happened. When you as a tight end are able to like come out of the backfield or put your hand in the dirt, stand up as a receiver, and all those things like that, like how efficient does that make you guys as an offense? Because you have so many elements, like Elijah was saying, like you're able to do that, but for yourself, you're able to stand out as well.
I mean, honestly, I just try to play my best brand of football. You know what I'm saying? Although, like, I'm still trying to. I ain't gonna lie, I'm just still trying to get better at this tight end stuff for real. You know what I'm saying? Mainly my blocking part, because like I'm coming out of high school, I played quarterback and receiver. I'm not really in the trenches for real. If that makes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, that game was crazy. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't even expect to pop off for real. I was just waiting on my time.
And then speaking of times, I know defensively, some guys were in and out of the lineup. Some people were injured, throughout this year, but people got healthy. What can you say about this defense? Picking up, after the loss against Tulane, after everybody was getting their touches and running the ball against them. Wake Forest, you guys slowed it down, and from there on, you guys slowed it down. What can you say about this defense that's finally clicking for the Cajuns right now?
I ain't gonna lie, like I really just feel like they just needed to find their mojo as a group. You know what I mean? Like I ain't gonna just sit there and say like I'd be over there to know what they be working on for real. Cause I still gotta concentrate on the offense and all that. But like I can see it like at practice, like they're different. Like it's a vibe. Like all the time they out there, they having fun, they communicate, like they making sure they know what they gotta do. And like I just say like that's all they've been doing, just communicating way better than where we started off at.
We always talk about, complementary football, whether that's on offense, being able to run and pass it. But you guys have seemed to really be complementary to each other on each side of the ball. The defense had 5 turnovers on a night where, like you said, you guys didn't put it in the end zone as often as what you would have wanted to. How important is that to the overall success of where y'all ultimately want to go for both sides of the ball to kind of hold up their end of the bargain?
I mean, really, like, you just got to be clicking on all 4 cylinders. Well, not 4, all 3. You know what I'm saying? Special teams, offense, and defense. And like I said, once we play our best brand of football, I feel like we'll be straight.
Now I gotta know, man. This year it seems a little different with head coach, with Coach Desimo. Is it something? Look, you smiling, man. Is it something different about him from previous years? We talked about him being aggressive, since week 1. What was it like? Is he walking different, talking different? What is it like for him right now, man?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, Dad showed us a whole different, personality for real this year. Like, since I've been here, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't seen this side of Dez yet. When I came in my freshman year, he was the cool head coach, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't really doing all the yelling, fussing for real. But like now, he's like, yeah, he ramped it up a page. Like he not going for nothing. Like practice bad, you mess up a play, we restarting it. Like he not going for it. He gonna rip you out, and you just gonna have to take it.
With that, like, we talked about on this show a couple of episodes ago, like Tua Tagovailoa and Brian Flores, the stories that they had of, how he talked crazy to them and all this stuff like that. And not saying by any means that Coach Dez is doing it. I don't want nobody in the comments saying nothing, but like how much of that is about him having great relationships with you guys to understand like, okay, this player can take this type of coaching, but then I need to talk to this guy a different kind of way so I can get the very best out of them.
My opinion, I feel like he don't coach nobody any different. You know what I'm saying? Like he coached the best players the same way he gonna coach the scouts. Like it don't matter who you are, even if you are on scout team, you on travel, like you getting coached the same regardless. So like I don't see no favoritism in that, if that makes sense.
Hey, so I had to throw on the swaggies when I asked you this question. Man. I got to throw on the swaggies when I asked you this. Who's the most swag position group in the room? I mean, if you want to say be biased and say the tight ends, go ahead. But who the most swaggiest group in the room?
I ain't gonna even see her fade. The most swaggiest group. It's the receivers. I ain't gonna fake it. The receivers look, Rob be putting it on sometime. You know what I'm saying? Nah, let me take that back. I'm just go with the DBs. I'm gonna go with the DBs. I ain't even gonna fake it. They be dripped out. But if we going best drip on the team, that's me, hands down. They rock me with the drip. I ain't even gonna sit here and fake it.
Coach Diz done had some fits a couple of times, man. When I be looking at them hype videos, I done seen him bust out a few pastel colored jackets and everything like that, man. It seems like everybody be on their best behavior when it comes to game day.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. We all be dripped out. I ain't even gonna fake it.
What's something that, you know, when you look at like your pregame ritual, you go in, what's something that you feel like you always have to do when you go in? Like I remember back when I was playing, I would always like to walk the whole field all the way down and back. I feel like I always had to do that when we were on road trips, especially to just get a feel of it. And, you know, athletes were superstitious by nature. So what's something that you feel like you always have to do for a game?
I mean, always before the game, like you said, you walk down and back on the field. I be having my music on, you know, so I be listening to all type of music. And, you know, game day, I just be walking down with my cleats on, just getting the feel for the turf for real. You know what I'm saying? Like doing little cuts and all that, like just really just getting the feel for the turf. Honestly, I don't really do nothing special for real. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't really just got no pregame ritual.
Speaking of the field, man, I gotta ask. I know nothing against Cajun fans. I know if you want to play at home, but do you like playing at home and feeding off the crowd energy, or are you more of a guy that want to be quiet that away crowd when they're yelling and chirping at you?
I ain't gonna lie, I'm a away crowd type of guy. I ain't gonna fake it, cause I just love when the stadium go quiet, cause like you start off so loud and it's like, yeah, now we here, now you can't say nothing once we get it. You know what I'm saying? For the BTA, I'm just saying.
When you we look at one of y'all's, I guess, biggest moments thus far this season already was the upset over Wake Forest. I remember it was a meme that I posted out there. Coach Dez, when the ball bounced off the goalpost, he was just like, whoo, he looked like the Popeyes worker after them chicken sandwiches. Like, to know that you have somebody like that, like as emotional as he can be, like emotionally invested in the game, like, man, like how much more does that make you want to play for a guy like that?
Man, for real, it's like he care about the game, and I care about it. Like that just shows me like his coaching, like he really putting his time into it, and he really like he cares about it. Like he care about us for real. So like that's like a big thing for me for real.
Man, I know. Speaking of, big accomplishments, I know you guys got like a big goal that you want this year. I don't want to speak for you. I don't want to say something about championship, but I want to hear it from you. What is the big goal for you, T. Carter?
Big goal for me for real. And I can say this not even just for me, but for the team. Like we trying to host that championship on Cajun Field. And you know what I'm saying, be that top 8.9% in the playoffs.
Man, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. You guys are definitely on the route to do that. Sitting at 5-1. Y'all have that game against Coastal coming up this weekend. What are some things that you've seen on film about their defense that they do that you guys are kind of keying in on and saying like, okay, this is an area, without giving away your game plan? We ain't trying to spoil nothing, but just like something that you see on film and you're like, okay, this is an area where we can win here and we can, make something really happen for us and be successful.
I ain't gonna lie. People think we a rushing offense. In my opinion, I don't believe that. I feel like we a passing offense. And they go man a lot. So, like, that's mismatches all around the field.
I like it. Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. The Ragin Cajuns face off with the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers on Saturday. I believe it's an 11 a.m. kick. I think it's noon Eastern time. So 11 a.m. kick Central time. That game will be on ESPN+. That is Cajuns tight end, Terrance Carter. T, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Man, what an awesome guy. And he's full of personality. That's why he's always so fun to be a part of that team. And I always love talking to that kid, man, because he has so much confidence in himself, and he's always able to compete extremely well with the way that he plays. So with that, let's move forward in our live stream. Tomorrow night, the New Orleans Saints welcome in their ex. My goodness. Sean Payton makes his I don't know much awaited return, but definitely a return that comes at a very difficult time for the New Orleans Saints, as the Broncos will come into the Caesars Superdome on a Thursday night, a short week for both teams. Elijah, we've seen how beat up this team is. Chris Olave out with concussion. Rashid Shaheed, it just was announced today that he's going to have surgery on his knee near the meniscus area. How much of this is going to have to be one of those ugly wins for the Saints to come out on top, and especially against this type of opponent?
It's going to have to be Madonna ugly. It's going to have to be RuPaul ugly. It's going to have to be all types of ugly, man, because at the end of the day, you can't make no excuses about this right now. This is pretty much, season seeding for the playoffs, trying to gain some momentum, because at the end of the day, everybody's hurt. Everybody's injured. Spencer Rattler, I know this will be his second game starting. But at the end of the day, the defense know that they're got to be the catalyst to set this thing off. The offensive line and the running backs got to be the ones to follow up with that as well. Play some time of possession football and win this ball game. Not saying that Spencer Rattler can't come out there and throw for a 3-touchdown performance, but it has to be, a game where they just have to grind and grit it out, because at the end of the day, man, you just came off a loss on Sunday. Your body's still not fully recuperated. You have to come around here on Thursday to beat a Broncos team that, has a hot and cold, and when they're hot, they're hot. When they're cold, they're cold. But at the end of the day, they're going to come out there and try to get a win for Sean. And as soon as Sean hit the field, I don't want to see a tribute. I don't want to see a welcome back, Payne. I want to hear.
No. That ain't gonna happen, because the same night, Drew Brees is something is supposed to be happening with him. He posted a video. I might pull it up in a second.
Yeah.
So it ain't gonna be all hugs and kisses. That's for sure.
That's why I don't want to see that from the Saints fan at all. Honestly, I want them to boo. As soon as he walked through the door, I want them to boo, man. Because at the end of the day, he is coaching for another team. He is with another team and trying to pursue the same dream that the Saints have, and that's winning a championship, and that's on another team. So at the end of the day, you can be thankful in your head and when you leave the stadium, but while you're repping the Saints for that 2-hour football, boo this man. Boo him.
Boo this man. Oh, man. I see Derek hopped on talking about pause. I don't even know what we said earlier.
I love that.
And ain't no telling about that, man. No, I think this is a crucial game for the Saints coming up tomorrow night, because they're 2-4 on the year. They started the season 2-0 with all high hopes. Offense was clicking. Now, of course, the two teams that you played were the Carolina Panthers, who are not a good team, and the Dallas Cowboys, who now we know is not a good team. So your two victories are against teams that weren't very good. So now that you've gotten into the meat and potatoes of your season now, you're on a 4-game skid. Number one, you got to be able to break that just simply for the confidence of your players. Like you still got this will be the 7th game for the team. You still got 10 games ahead of you. Like that's a whole season ahead of you, bro. Like you don't want guys checking out right now. This is not the time for that. You have to figure out a way to leave that game 3-4 instead of 2-5. And it's got to come in a very difficult way. I think the 3 receivers, I think I saw it somewhere. Let me see if I can pull my Twitter up on here. But it was like Bub Means, Cedric Wilson. And I'm like, bro, like I don't even know who any of these players are. And that's no discredit to them, but it's just simply based on the situation and then the time and the circumstance that you're in. You're in a short week. You got a lot of hurt guys. Derek said that dude said you have to take it. See, this is why we couldn't have had that man on this show right there. But on a short week like this, it's just not it's not a great position to be in. facing against a team, and Broncos that they're not world beaters or anything like that, but you're not playing your best football at this point. Your defense just gave up almost 600 yards of offense to Tampa Bay. Like, it's kind of fair game at this point. And, Dennis Allen said it on Sunday that they got to tackle better. They got to do everything better. And they have to put Spencer Rattler in the best positions possible to be able to make it happen. Do you believe the Saints can be able to get this victory against this Broncos team?
Yeah, because I really think they're more talented. I do think they're more talented on the defensive line. I think they're more talented in the running back room. I think they have a great secondary. I think Patrick Surtain is league by itself over there, but when it comes to a collective secondary, I think they are. I think they had a lot of hiccups against Tampa Bay when it came to tackling. But at the end of the day, I think the Saints are a better team. I mean, I understand injuries can hurt you, and injuries can, mess up some things out the game because these guys are new and they're not understanding play calling. Yeah, I get it. Spencer Rattler's a rookie. These guys are getting plugged and play in 3 days, and they need to know some of the stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm not really with the excuse of injuries too much because at the end of the day, everybody's hurt. With the Broncos, I'm pretty sure they have injuries too. So put your big boy pants on and go out there and play football. I think the Saints are a better team overall. I don't think we're going to see a high-scoring football game, but I think we'll see enough where if it's a 13-16 game and the Saints is come out on top, pause Derek, then I would think that this team can be. I think this team can win this game and again try to bounce back in this NFC South Conference.
Yeah, you're right, man. For the few people watching here on the stream right now, if you're not a subscriber, hit the bell down below and subscribe for us. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. If you're on Facebook, the link is pinned down in the top of the chat. I think this should be an interesting one on Thursday for sure. I got this video of Drew Brees. He's talking of what he wants from the fans at halftime, and people listen. You gotta market your team the best you can, but man, like Saints fans are like, Drew, we're not trying to hear this right now. We not winning.
Right.
Let me see if I can find it. Hold up, y'all bear with me. We're trying to get this up on stream. So we got the bookmark.
Drew Brees here. We have been able to experience some incredible things together in the Superdome over the last 18 years. But Thursday, game day against the Broncos at halftime, we're going to do something that's never been done before. We are going to break out a chant that I know all of you know, but we are going to do it as one in the dome together. It's going to go like this. I'm going to grab that microphone. I'm going to look around, and I'm just going to say, 1. You say, 2. Win. For you. 3. 4. Win. Some more. 5. 6. Win. For kicks. 7. 8. Win. It's great. 9. 10. Win. Again. Win. Again. Win. Again. Win again. You know what time it is. Drew Brees here.
But they said we're not trying to hear that, bro.
Oh, 1, 2, tie your shoe. We ain't got time for that, bro. Go ahead, take that chance somewhere else. Go take that chance somewhere else.
But that was his pregame thing. He did that for years. He got that in the huddle, and I think DeMario Davis always gives a speech now. But that was Drew's thing. You know what I'm saying? He would always give a yes, Derek. He was counting. The Saints will accept your challenge and find a way to lose. Hey, if they did, I wouldn't be surprised just as much as I wouldn't be surprised if they win. Right now, this team is just in a coin flip type of situation in their season. And until they're at full capacity again, there's no telling like what team we really gonna get. You're missing your number one receiver in Chris Olave. You're missing your deep threat in Rashid Shaheed. You're missing your Swiss Army knife in Taysom Hill. Alvin Kamara is probably beat up all the heck because he's getting a million touches a game now. Your offensive line is missing 2 starters, and they're like, bro, it's just the list is going on. And a lot of this is happening to the offensive side of the ball. So, like, we were talking to T. Carter earlier about having complementary football. It's going to be hard to complement each other when you got how many starters was that I just named? Rashid Shaheed, okay, Chris Olave, Eric McCoy, Cesar Ruiz, Taysom Hill. That's 5 starters. 5. Oh, and Derek Carr. I can't forget that. 6 of the 11 starters are not available. They're not playing. That's tough at any level. Now, like I said in our show earlier this week, the good teams find a way to win it. So we're really going to find out if the Saints are capable of becoming a good team, if they're capable of becoming a playoff contender, as they will face the Denver Broncos on Thursday night on Amazon Prime. And we'll have our eyes on that game to see what happens. So LSU off the highest of highs right now, coming off of a win against Ole Miss where they got the upset, the fans stormed the field, blah, blah, blah. Now they go on the road and they face off against an Arkansas team that's 4-2. We talked a little bit about it in the show earlier this week, so we won't go to extreme details about it. But the question that I pose for you, Elijah, how important or how does this team find a way to not allow that emotional victory allow them to start off slow in this game against Arkansas?
Prepare the same way you prepared as if they're one of the top teams in the SEC. Arkansas proved that they beat Tennessee a couple of weeks ago in Arkansas, and now LSU's going to Arkansas, and they can't go in there sleeping. Because honestly, if you go in there sleeping, Arkansas is gonna knock you out. They're gonna knock you out the playoffs. So I think that you have to go in there level-headed, level-minded. I mean, that's simple. Coach to player talk, level-headed, level-minded, as if this was a top 25 team, if this was a top 10 matchup. Because at the end of the day, your season is on the line. You have to beat Arkansas to get to where you want to go, which is the college football playoff, and give yourself a chance. If you don't beat Arkansas, honestly, I could see them knocking you out of the top 15. So you have to go in there level-minded, treat them the same. When you put that helmet and shoulder pads on, don't think of it as just another game. Think of it as a SEC rival that you face every year, and that you need to beat them come Saturday night. Because, like I said, if you sleep on them, they will knock you out, and they will knock you out of the playoffs. So you have to go in there with that level head.
And that's very much true. You know, you got I always somehow forget that they play for the battle of the Golden Boot. So not only are they going to try to spoil your year, they're trying to get the boot, man. Like, everybody wants the bragging rights in a rivalry game. Everybody wants the opportunity to say, we got one up on you. For back-to-back seasons, they've been able to do that. You know, 2 years ago, it was kind of Harold Perkins's coming out game where he, played out of his mind and was able to help LSU pull out a tough victory against Arkansas. And then last year, Jaden Daniels on his Heisman campaign was able to play extremely well also. So, yeah, man, like, this is not a game where the Saints can – I'm talking about the Saints. LSU can come out and, be lackadaisical. They do have to come out and play with this same level of intensity. What's popping up in here? What's up, Sam?
What's up, Sam?
Yeah, what's going on, man? Appreciate the support. I guess since we got people talking, back to it, what y'all think? Like, how does LSU not slip up in this game? How do they come out and play at a high level? How do they get things going? The U. Miami.
UConn.
Something. The only U I know is
Miami.
Is Miami. I don't know about that. But how do the Saints – boy, why do I keep saying the Saints? I guess because we just talked about them. How does LSU not come out and let this be a trap game for them? How do they not allow this to mess them up and ruin things for their season, especially after coming off of such a, like I said, an emotional victory? For you, Elijah, also, like, how important will it be for Garrett Nussmeier to come back out after not necessarily having the worst game of his career, but not having the best game of his season also, and just responding, like playing well getting back to what we were used to seeing, getting the ball to his playmakers and making it happen?
I think that he has a fair chance of doing that. And I think he should be level-headed as well because he made a ton of mistakes the last game against Ole Miss, and they still came out and won. At the end of the day, no gun celebrations. At the end of the day, man, Garrett understands what his role is. The run game could be a little bit more efficient, so I don't think it should be all on Garrett. I just think that it should be just another team win because that's what pulled it out. I mean, they had to go with the flow of the game and let Garrett throw 50 times, but at the end of the day, it can't be all on Garrett. Garrett can hand the ball off to Durham, and he can get going. Josh Williams could get going. And then, if the flow of the game is the run game, let the run game be the thing. If the flow of the game is passing, let passing be the thing. I don't think it should be all on Garrett. I just think there should be another team win because I feel like LSU is I don't think they have one star guy that's going to make a big difference, but if they come together collectively, it makes a big difference.
No, yeah, you're right. And I completely forgot about how rough it was for them to run the football, mainly because Ole Miss was not going to let them run the football. They were, having a lot of too high safeties and, making sure that you couldn't be able to throw it over the top. And in the situations where you could go one-on-one, it was very few and sparing. I think that the key for them is to establish that run game early, like you said, with guys like Josh Williams, like Caden Durham, and then get it out to your playmakers. I saw a report saying that CJ Daniels is currently probable, so you're getting some guys back that you can pass the football to. And then once you get your run game established and you get things going, then your defense needs to come out and pick up where they left off in that Ole Miss game. Braden Swinson is going to continue to rush the passer. Whit Weeks is going to continue to fly around the field and make big tackles. Your secondary is going to continue to clamp up in the situations that they need to. And just like Derek said, they don't need to have no gun celebrations so they can make sure that they're not getting no crazy penalties and everything like that. So LSU will face off with Arkansas coming up this weekend. Is that a 2:30 kick? Let's see. That's a 6:00 game. Oh, yeah, 6:00 game on ESPN. LSU is still favored by 2.5 points, the same way that we saw as of us recording the episode earlier this week. So should be a good one, man. I always like the battle for the Golden Boot. It always is an interesting one, and guys are always able to have big moments in those games. So you love seeing those rivalry games. We're going to round things out here on our live stream by talking a little NFL news that came out yesterday as the New York Jets make a trade. Not very surprising news, but the New York Jets make a trade and they get Davante Adams, reuniting Aaron Rodgers and Tay from their times back when they were playing for Green Bay, playing for the Packers. We just saw like the Jets not play well. I believe against that was against the Buffalo Bills earlier. Does adding Davante Adams to the mix, will it change anything at all? Will it make Aaron Rodgers play better? Will it make this team any better? What does this move do for this team?
Nothing. They don't do nothing. Because at the end of the day, they still got to play some defense. They still got to protect the quarterback. But I mean, will it be a little bit more dynamic because they're on the same page? Yeah. He'll have a receiver that he actually can trust. But I thought he had that in Garrett Wilson. He don't, I guess, apparently. But at the end of the day, man, I just, one thing I want to say about Aaron Rodgers, like, for him to air out Mike Williams like that, and then tell people that he ran the wrong route and he still threw the ball that way. What kind of man that say Aaron Rodgers is? That's like a douche. Like, oh, you run the wrong route, I'm still gonna throw it over there. Like, that makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. If he does something wrong, my head is going the other way. I'm going that way. Why would you want to throw somebody the ball that ran the wrong route? But back in my mind, if that was the plan to get Davante, hey, go ahead. Go ahead. That was your plan to get Davante. I'm happy for you. But now that the pressure is on Aaron Rodgers to win. The pressure is on the Jets to win because now at the end of the day, they got to pay all that money to Davante Adams because they took the full contract. They didn't take majority. They took the full contract. And now you have to put it together and try to string some games in what I think is a tough division, not AFC East, but in general, but the AFC in general. Because you have to beat Baltimore, you have to beat Kansas City, you have to beat and then the Steelers are playing fairly well right now too. Like you have to beat these teams. So do I put myself as the Jets in the top 5 conversations in the AFC? No. I mean, how can I forget the Bills? You just lost to the Bills. It wasn't all that. Like they missed field goals. They had penalties that overturned the touchdown. At the end of the day, like it wasn't just that. I mean, I know Aaron Rodgers is going to get his way regardless, but I just want to say this: if it don't work out, start blaming Aaron Rodgers because at the end of the day, that's where it's coming to. Because like it's his way or the highway. If it don't work out, start blaming Aaron Rodgers.
Point the finger at him, said, "Bro, buddy, you're the problem." He talked a little bit about Davante and the media's availability that they had. I got it pulled up here. Let's listen in and see what he had to say.
He's staying with me for the short term, so went right into some of the signals, and he was about 95%. And he knows kind of the original to the second iteration to the third, and on down. So his knowledge of the game is pretty extensive. Obviously, looks like he's drinking the elixir from the fountain of youth. As I watched some of his clips,
Elixir.
I went back and watched old 2014 stuff when he was a rookie, and I love him. They call him Fat Tay because he was over 220. Then he got real serious about his diet and his health and got down to under 210, and speed came back and became the dynamic player that he is today. So it's been a strange 24 hours, but really fun to see my friend. He's staying with me.
Fat Tay is crazy. I don't care how cool he is. You ain't. I mean, no Fat Tay. Because what are we talking about? Fat Tay?
No, man. But like I said, I just don't agree with it, man. I mean, I think is it a good move for Aaron Rodgers? Yeah, to have your friend back. But remember this: a lot of people don't remember this. Aaron Rodgers fought for Randall Cobb to be on the team too.
Yeah, he fought for it was some graphic that I saw. There was like a bunch of the guys. Let me see. Gotta love streams because we could be a little bit more loose. Let's see. It was Packers and Jets graphic.
Yeah, he fought for Randall Cobb.
He had a bunch of dudes in there. Dang, I can't find it, man.
A lot of people forgot that. But yeah, Davante, I think Davante makes a little bit of a difference, but not too much.
He did it, and then they did sign that brother just literally a year ago, getting him there. But it was like Randall Cobb. Who else? It was God, bro. I wish I would have bookmarked that graphic. However, it was a bunch of guys that he had from the time that he was playing in Green Bay, and he's got them now. So I guess we'll shoot. While we on here too, bro, we need to talk about how Jerry Jones been tripping and how that man was threatening media members that he will get them fired because he don't like what they saying. I know Derek is probably still on here.
You're talking about Cobb is from Connecticut. No, he's not.
Is he from Connecticut?
No, Randall Cobb ain't no from Connecticut. Disrespectful, man. He from
that boy was born in Tennessee. He was born in Tennessee and went to Kentucky.
Yeah, he ain't from no Connecticut.
They've been talking about your state, man. You
Yeah,
gonna let
man.
him talk? You gonna let him talk? You gonna let him
Nah, he
talk
got
about?
it. Nah, he got it. He got it because he's from here. You know, I don't know how many fans up here for him, but they're not, people from.
You gonna let him talk about y'all Connecticuters, man? You
But I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk about the Cowboys though. I talk about the Cowboys, man. With Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones really been on the trip lately, man. Just how he talks and stuff like that, and then threatened to fire 2 podcasts about asking him a question.
No, it was radio people.
Radio people.
It was radio people.
Jerry, why you so
here you
upset?
go. Here you go. I'm finna pull it up. He was crashing out on them boys for real.
Jerry,
Crashing out.
They do something to you, Jerry? They asked a question.
Yeah.
They asked a question that Derek wanted to know.
Let me tell you what I'll do. About it. I will let us sit down and look at the decisions we've made over the last several years. Okay? I'll look at it. Now, if you think I'm interested on a damn phone call with you over a radio and sitting here and throwing all the good out with the dishwater, you
with
have
the dishwater,
smoking something over there this morning.
Man, what?
And I really don't, and I don't even want our listeners to listen to me. To talk about, this is not your job. Your job isn't to let me go over all the reasons that I did something and I'm sorry that I did it. That's not your job.
That's not your job.
Well, my job is to ask
why.
Get
a job, or I'll get somebody else to ask these questions, man.
Jerry, we're trying to figure out why the team is.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
Then he said, "I ain't kidding." He said, "I ain't playing."
It's what the team is doing right or wrong. If you are, or any 5 or 10 like you, you need to come to this meeting I'm going to today. There are 32 teams here. You're geniuses.
Jerry,
okay. Y'all really think you're going to sit here with a microphone and tell me all of the things that I've done wrong and without going over the rights?
Well,
now, listen, we both know we're talking to a lot of great fans and a lot of great listeners. And I am very sorry for what happened out there Sunday. I'm sick about what happened Sunday. Now, I'm not talking to these yahoos on the end of this phone. I'm talking to you, the fans that are listening this morning. And we can spend a lot of time going over zigging and zagging. One of the stupidest things I've ever done that anybody has ever analyzed.
Zigging and zagging.
It was an idiot that did that. So idiot things can turn into good decisions.
What?
Okay. Smart things can turn into bad decisions.
Huh?
Like paying debt.
When you make one, you don't really know whether it's going to be good or not at the time. So let's just go ahead. I'm trying to answer your questions, man. You want some conversation this morning? You're getting it.
Jerry Jones here.
He talking about this morning. Man, he was hot, wasn't it? Look at Derek. All he's missing is a whipping sound effect. Come on, man. Hey, because it's entertainment, bro. Like Jerry, I tell you what, he also talked to when he was in media scrum, which no other owner has a media scrum after a game. But he was having a conversation with a media member, and he asked him a question about would he fire a head coach mid-season, and he was like, "No, I would never do that, blah, 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 whatever, this and that." And he was like, "What do you think, I'm stupid?" Let me tell you something. You couldn't have been me, because I might not have said, "Yeah, you dumb," but I'd have been like, my face would have said it all.
Bruh. And the only thing it make me laugh because Jerry's so old school, bro. He probably want to see them running a wishbone.
Getting that power eye. Make it happen. Get under that center. He probably go out there and try to tell Dak how to run that offense. See, back when I was playing, you get under there and hand the ball off. Come on, man.
Jerry. It just made me laugh about his stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's frustrated as an owner, but you can't sound like a fan, bro. And one thing you can't do as somebody in the organization, you can't be like, if we talk to a Dallas fan, you'll expect that. But if you're talking to an owner, a head coach, or stuff like that.
My thing is, man, like I like passion. I like that you care because that shows fans that, you know what I'm saying, like you're invested in this, like monetarily and literally, you are invested into this. Bro, you let your coaches coach. Stop being the general manager. Like he had now, listen, he knows how to assemble football teams, but he can't coach them. You gotta back up some. Just own the team. Give somebody else an opportunity. Give somebody else to do it. Give them a chance. You know what I mean? Because at this point, the pressure around the organization is at such an all-time high. It's not even because you're America's team anymore. It's because Jerry Jones is going to be breathing down your neck every waking moment that he gets a chance to. And that's just that's not built for a great working environment. That's not built for a great setting for a team to win a Super Bowl. Because if the Dallas Cowboys won a Super Bowl, Jerry Jones would have 3,432 commercials running about himself, and it wouldn't be nothing about the team. And that's just the bottom line. So
I agree. I mean, can I throw my for sure you right on? Throw my for sure you right on.
Hey man, I don't know what it is about this brother and these shades. Jerry and Dak should ride off into the sunset. Tell y'all something, man. If we could figure out a way to have a censorship live, like, all right, man. All right. If we can figure out a way to have a live censorship on this show, we probably would bring Derek on, but he gonna say something on here that's gonna get us copyrighted or something gonna happen, and we ain't gonna be able to do this no more. So we just gonna let him be in the comments, and we'll read to y'all what he says is here and there. So, oh man. With that, ladies and gentlemen, man, it's been fun. As you can see, we got some college football scores running below in our ticker. We're gonna keep possibly doing that, man. Kennesaw State losing, the team that the Ragin Cajuns played earlier in the year. As you also see down there, if you're on YouTube and you're watching along with Derek, subscribe to the Fitz Take Podcast. If you're on Facebook and watching it, hit down in the chat where we have it pinned at the top of the chat and subscribe for us. We truly appreciate y'all for hopping on the stream here with us and kicking it with us for a little while. Be sure to follow me, Elijah, my production company, all on our social media platforms. If you're on YouTube, it's down in the description. If you're on Facebook, then you need to go over to YouTube and you can find it all there. Or if you're on Facebook, just follow us over there on Facebook, whatever. We appreciate y'all so much for hopping on another edition of the Fitz Take Podcast. And we will see y'all next week as we drop another episode. It'll be episode number 12 of the Fitz Take Podcast. Signing out for Elijah Nixon, I'm Jamarcus Fitzpatrick. We'll see y'all next time.